If tomorrow were your final day on Earth, would you look back with a sense of fulfillment? Would you feel content with the legacy you've left behind? Deep within you, beyond the noise, beyond the distractions and the manufactured self-assurance, you already know the answer. In those quiet moments when no one's around and your inner voice grows louder, you can feel it. That hollow pit in your stomach, that persistent whisper in the back of your mind reminding you of a harsh reality. You've squandered hours, days, even years. You've sidestepped hardship. You've clung to what's easy instead of striving for what's extraordinary. And now while you hesitate, while you sit idle, others are out there grinding relentlessly. They're gaining wealth, strength, and influence while you drift further into irrelevance. This isn't about comparing yourself to others. It's about recognizing that while you're paused, the world keeps moving. And if you don't snap out of it right now, then you're on the fast track to becoming nothing more than a footnote in your own story. Time doesn't wait. It doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or your fears. Every tick of the clock is another opportunity slipping through your fingers. So let me ask you this. What exactly are you doing with your life? Seriously, take a hard look at yourself. Go stand in front of the mirror, stare straight into your own eyes, and ask yourself honestly, do you even deserve the life you dream about? Here's the unfiltered truth, and it might sting. Most people don't deserve happiness, and deep down they know it. Joy, success, influence. These aren't gifts that fall from the sky. They're not owed to you just because you exist or because you've suffered. The world doesn't hand out rewards for participation. If you're sitting around complaining about how unfair everything is, then let me be blunt. You're not a victim of failures. F life. You're the architect of your own misery. You're out of shape, financially unstable, undisciplined, and yet you wonder why contentment eludes you. What effort have you put in? What obstacles have you overcome? What meaningful contribution have you made? You say you're sad or unmotivated? Well, take a look around. Who wouldn't be? Living a life of wasted potential and daily neglect. If I were living like that, I'd be down too. But this is the point where a fork in the road appears. This is where some rise and others fall. Those who win in life don't deny their pain. They weaponize it. They stare their discomfort in the face and make a vow to never stay there. They pull themselves out of despair through sheer will and effort. The others, they retreat. They look for someone to blame, their parents, their past, the system, anything to deflect responsibility. But let me tell you something. That's noise. No one's coming to save you. No one truly cares about your excuses. We've been sold a lie that the aim of life is to chase happiness. But real happiness, that's not the destination, that's the result. The byproduct of discipline, focus, and perseverance. It's earned through action, not given as a birthright. If you're spending your days scrolling through social media, eating garbage, numbing your mind with meaningless entertainment, and surrounding yourself with people who drag you down, then no, you don't deserve joy. The world is more fair than you think. It rewards those who take initiative. Every morning I wake up with intention. I train my body, expand my mind, build my wealth, create value, and because of that, I'm fulfilled, because I've earned it. You want to feel proud of yourself? Then prove you deserve to. But the harsh truth is, most won't. You'll hear words like these, feel a burst of energy for a few fleeting minutes, and then slide right back into mediocrity. That's the real tragedy. That's why so many people stay stuck in cycles of regret. Happiness, fulfillment, success, they aren't for the fragile or the faint-hearted. They're reserved for those willing to pay the price. So ask yourself again, are you worthy of the life you want? And if not, what are you going to do about it? Let me leave you with a simple story. Two individuals, both began their journey under the same dark clouds, same setbacks, same uphill battles, same starting point. But only one made it to the top. The other faded into obscurity. And the difference? It wasn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It was mindset. The one who failed hit the snooze button each morning, not just on his alarm clock, but on his ambitions. He wasn't tired from exertion. He was tired from stagnation. His muscles were soft, and so was his thinking. He whispered comforting lies to himself, gave himself permission to procrastinate, and by the time he finally got moving, the day and his potential was already slipping away. That man could be you, but he doesn't have to be. You still have a chance. You still have breath in your lungs and strength in your bones, but time is running thin. So decide, will you let your story be one of regret, or will you rise from your failures and finally build the life you're capable of living? He sits there, yet again, letting the minutes slip through his fingers as he endlessly scrolls through his phone, trading his precious time for meaningless pixels. Another hour gone, just like that. Eventually, he gets up and heads for the kitchen, not to nourish himself, but to shovel down a breakfast loaded with artificial flavors, processed sugars, and toxins that weigh him down even more. He catches his reflection and feels disgust rising from his core, but rather than confront the image staring back at him, he turns away. He buries his discomfort under a pile of diversions. He tells himself he'll change. Tomorrow. But tomorrow always stays just out of reach, a day that never arrives. He loathes his job. He cringes when he checks his bank balance. He detests his appearance. He resents that women ignore him, that no one sees value in him. But rather than facing these problems head on, he assigns blame elsewhere. Society failed him. His upbringing wasn't fair. The economy is rigged. Excuses stack up while his life falls apart. And when the weight of all that misery becomes too much to carry, how does he cope? He escapes. He sinks into digital oblivion, hours lost in video games, junk food binges, social media rabbit holes. He numbs the ache not by fixing what's broken, but by hiding from it. He's not just standing still, he's actively sabotaging himself because deep down, he's too afraid to change. But somewhere else, there's a man who chooses a different path. While the sky is still dark and most are asleep, he's already out of bed. Fatigue gnaws at him, but he doesn't negotiate with weakness. He skips the phone. The mission comes first. He heads straight to the gym, to work, to hustle. His goals don't wait for comfort. He fuels his body with intention. Clean, powerful food that sharpens his mind and strengthens his resolve. He doesn't sit around wallowing or wishing things were easier. He understands that life is a battle, and in battle, hesitation gets you crushed. There's no time to mope. You rise or you fall, you sharpen your edge or you get cut. When he looks at himself in the mirror, he doesn't just see a face, he sees potential carved into flesh, a warrior in progress, a future leader, someone not yet where he wants to be, but someone steadily marching toward that vision. He's not chasing comfort, he's chasing mastery. He isn't proud because he's arrived, he's proud because he's advancing. He's becoming the man he set out to be. Every rep, every early morning, every hour of work, it's all building something. And even though he's not satisfied, he stands tall, knowing he's giving it everything. He's got these two men started in the same place, same obstacles, same disadvantages, but only one will rise because only one decided to fight. One grew soft, the other sharpened into steel. One found reasons, the other found resolve. One faded into mediocrity, the other forged himself in fire. So ask yourself honestly, who are you becoming? You think the odds are stacked against you? Life isn't unfair. It's precise. It gives you exactly what you put in. If you want greatness, then you have to earn it. If you crave respect, then you better become someone worthy of it. If you dream of freedom, then you must fight for it. But most of you won't. That's the truth you don't want to hear. You'll feel inspired. For a moment, you'll nod your head, tell yourself you're ready, and then you'll slip right back into your comfort zone. You'll return to your unproductive routines, to your endless scrolling, to your toxic habits, and nothing will change. That's why you'll never break through. That's why you'll stay trapped. Because what you're missing isn't talent or intelligence, it's self-control, it's fire. It's the ability to endure discomfort for the sake of progress. You say you want a better future, you say you want options, freedom, power, but are you willing to pay the price? Or are you still hoping someone hands it to you while you sit on the sidelines? Too many men today live under the illusion that success should be smooth, that one day everything will just magically fall into place, but that day never comes. Because the reality is cold and sharp. The only ones who get what they want are the ones who chase it down and tear it from the world with force. So let me ask you, when you wake up, do you have a plan? Do you move with purpose? Or do you float through your day like driftwood, tossed around by impulse and apathy? Every moment you spend complaining, every excuse you make is a moment someone else is grinding, improving, advancing. Every time you postpone action, someone else is already 10 steps ahead. And that gap between you and them, it only grows wider. Here's the raw truth. The universe doesn't operate on emotion. It doesn't hand out rewards for intentions. It doesn't bend for your sadness or exhaustion. It demands results. You either adapt, evolve, and overcome, or you lose. Full stop. You either rise to meet your potential or you let it rot, and there is no middle ground. So the question remains, are you willing to go through hell to reach the life you say you want, or are you just going to keep dreaming about it while others go out and take it? Here's the truth most people never accept. Your situation isn't permanent, and your identity isn't set in stone. You're not trapped, you're not beyond repair, you're simply undisciplined, and that can be corrected. But only if you're ready to embrace the suffering that comes with transformation. Only if you're willing to get up tomorrow and force yourself to act differently, even when it's painful, even when every fiber of your being wants to stay the same. Because no one is coming to rescue you. If you're sitting around waiting for some magical surge of inspiration, you'll be waiting until the end of your life. If you're hoping for ideal circumstances to finally make your move, let me save you some time. They don't exist. The only escape from the version of life you resent is to face it with aggression. Ruthless, consistent, unshakable action. Every hour, every breath, every choice you make is either carving you into someone formidable or dissolving you into irrelevance. And here's something that should jolt you to your core. You are running out of time. Not someday, not eventually. Now, right this moment. While you lounge in distraction, telling yourself there's still plenty of time, the sands of your life are draining away. Every idle second is a piece of your existence you will never reclaim. Every excuse you cling to, every delay you justify, is taking you closer to the end with nothing to show for it. The terrifying part? Most of you will die as nobodies, forgotten, fragile, insignificant. And when that moment comes, When you're staring at the ceiling of your final room and your memories flash before your eyes, what will you see? Will it be a man who charged through life with courage? Someone who chased impossible goals, built his kingdom from scratch, and lived on his own terms? Or will you see a man who let opportunities pass, who allowed fear to dictate his fate, who spent his life in retreat? Because make no mistake, fear is killing you. Fear of embarrassment, fear of criticism, fear of pushing beyond what's comfortable. And you've allowed it. You've given fear the keys to your life. It's the reason you stay in that soul-crushing job you hate. It's why you wake up in a body you're ashamed of. It's why your bank account is empty, your relationships are hollow, and your ambition is buried under a mountain of excuses. Not because you lack potential, but because you lack courage. You've allowed fear to win, again and again. So let me ask you, how much longer are you going to keep losing? How many more weeks, months, years are you going to spend living like this? You lie to yourself and say, I've got time. But you don't. The clock isn't waiting. Each breath is one less you'll ever take. You could die next week, and what would be left? A trail of what-ifs, a legacy of mediocrity, nothing more than a footnote in the story you never had the guts to write. And it's all because you let fear chain you to the floor. But here's the harsh lesson. Fear is only powerful when you surrender to it. The way to defeat it isn't by hiding or wishing it away. You destroy fear by confronting it head-on. You counter fear with action. Bold, immediate, unapologetic action. If Tal, king to people, makes your stomach churn, do it anyway. If starting your own business makes you tremble, launch it anyway. If the thought of failing paralyzes you, fail over and over until fear loses its grip. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the will to move despite it. And here's the final enemy you must face: regret. Not the temporary sting of failure, not the discomfort of discipline, regret. The deepest, most soul-shattering pain a person can feel. Regret is realizing you had 1,000 chances to rise, and you let every single one pass you by. It's looking back on your life and seeing that comfort won every battle, that you chose ease over growth, softness over strength, and apathy over ambition. You threw away the chance to be extraordinary because average felt safe. But when that safety becomes a prison and the door finally slams shut behind you, when time's up, there's no going back. Once regret sinks its claws in, there's no redemption. You'll beg for another shot. You'll wish for more days. But time doesn't barter. It doesn't bargain. It moves forward without mercy, grinding down those who hesitate. Time is the executioner of indecision. It erases the men who played it safe. So why are you still on the sidelines? Why are you still telling yourself the same tired stories, waiting for life to change on its own? It won't. Nothing gets better by waiting. Riches don't fall from the sky. Strength doesn't appear out of nowhere. Respect isn't given freely. These things are earned through grind, through resilience, through the kind of relentless action that turns mortals into legends. So stop wasting breath. Stop daydreaming. The question isn't whether life is fair. The question is whether you're strong enough to do something about it. Your time is slipping away. Your moment is now. So what the hell are you waiting for? You don't become formidable by simply wishing for it. You don't earn admiration by asking politely. Power isn't gifted. It's seized. It's taken through action, grit, and a refusal to bend. That's the fundamental truth. To rise above the masses, you must command your space. You must force the world to take notice, to acknowledge your presence. That's the secret behind real power. Control. The men who shape the world are the ones who reject fragility. They are relentless. They know that every move they make brings them closer to conquest or to collapse. There is no neutral ground. You're either ascending or you're being buried. Consider the titans of history. Were they hesitant? Were they fragile? Did they tiptoe through life hoping to be liked? Absolutely not. They were decisive. They were merciless in their pursuit of what they wanted. They didn't ask for permission. They took what they believed was theirs. That's the mindset you need. You must evolve into someone who evokes both awe and intimidation. When you enter a room, people should feel your energy. You shouldn't need to speak for others to respect you. Your very presence should do it. But let's be real. Right now, you're not that man. Right now, you're invisible. You fade into the background. No one's watching you because you've done nothing to deserve their attention. If that bothers you, it should. But it should also awaken something inside you. Weakness will always be ruled by strength. That's not pessimism. It's the nature of reality. If you're not in command of your own path, someone else is directing it for you. If you don't stand up and take control, you'll remain a servant to systems you hate and routines that drain you. That's the life you're living now. A prisoner in a cage you won't try to escape. But the door is open. The exit is there. It just requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet. A version thus by. That demands more, suffers more, and does more. The choice is always in your hands. Stay soft or harden up. Keep living in fear or decide to become dangerous. Continue as you are, broke, undisciplined, ineffective, or walk into the life that was always waiting for the man bold enough to claim it. There is no later. There is no when I'm ready. There's only now. So let's stop pretending. Let me ask you something, and I want your most honest answer. Not the mask you wear in front of your friends, not the story you tell yourself when you try to fall asleep, just the raw truth. Are you genuinely proud of the man you are right now? If the answer is no, then you already know why. You haven't earned pride. You haven't earned happiness. You haven't earned respect. And deep down, you're aware of it. That's why there's a void inside you. That's why you feel directionless. That's why you avoid your own reflection, because it reminds you of what you could be and what you refuse to become. Your situation isn't a mystery. It's the outcome of 1,000 cowardly choices. You haven't fought for anything. You haven't endured anything. You've avoided pain instead of using it. And that's exactly why you'll continue to fall short. You can try to ignore it, bury it beneath distractions, games, junk, mindless entertainment, but it never really leaves. That quiet voice, it doesn't stop. It follows you. It gnaws at you when you're alone. It reminds you that you've abandoned your potential, that you've traded greatness for comfort, and nothing hurts more than that realization. The worst kind of pain isn't falling short or getting told no or even losing. It's waking up one day and realizing you could have been a force of nature. You could have been someone remembered, respected, feared. But you let laziness rot you from the inside. You allowed comfort to convince you that effort wasn't worthy. It. You told yourself lies to justify weakness. And in doing so, you destroyed every possibility that was once within reach. And while you do that, while you coast through the day feeling sorry for yourself, another man out there is on fire. Right now, as you scroll, as you snack, as you waste another minute, he's training. He's building wealth. He's improving every part of himself, physically, mentally, financially. He's moving, and you're still. You think the world is unfair? No. It's exact. It pays what you earn. You think winners got lucky? No. They bled for it. They clawed their way through setbacks. They didn't just want it. They demanded it with their effort. They faced every failure, every doubt, every fear, and they kept moving. They understood the cost of power, and they paid it in full. So stop blaming, stop wishing, stop stalling. No one is holding you back except the man in the mirror. You don't have time to wait for motivation. You don't have time to feel ready. You only have time to move. Because if you keep going like this, you'll never know what you could have been. And that loss will haunt you more than any failure ever could. Every great man you admire today, he paid a price. He gave up comfort while people like you searched for shortcuts and rationalized your failures. That's why the world rewards those who commit fully and punishes those who hesitate. Real power, real strength, it doesn't come for free. It's the result of pain embraced and sacrifices made. And weakness, that's not some curse you were born with. It's a decision you repeat every single day. You decide to snooze your alarm instead of rising. You choose garbage food over fuel. You pick distraction over growth, laziness over discipline, and then you wonder why your life feels like it's falling apart. Don't pretend to be surprised. The truth is simple. Your reality is the outcome of your repeated decisions. And if you're miserable, frustrated, stuck, it's because you chose to be. Own that. Only then can you begin to transform. Let's be clear. No one's riding in on a white horse to fix your problems. No one's coming to give you a second chance. If you're broke, it's on you. If you're unfit, that's your fault. If your life feels meaningless, that's because you haven't stepped up to give it meaning. It's not the world's job to fix what you refuse to face. But here's the part most can't stomach. You are at war. A war against your potential. Every single morning you go to battle with the stronger version of yourself, the version that trains harder, learns faster, stays disciplined, and executes with intensity. But right now you're losing. You're letting the weaker version of yourself win. That soft, scared, excuse-making version of you is in control, and as long as you keep feeding it, you'll stay stuck in this cycle of disappointment and regret. And make no mistake, time is not your ally, it's your opponent. It doesn't slow down when you're tired. It doesn't pause when you're unsure. Every moment you waste is permanently gone. Every time you hesitate, someone else is seizing the opportunity you let slip. The world is moving, always. The ones who succeed are those who refuse to sit still. If you're not growing, you're falling behind. And the brutal truth is that no one's waiting for you to catch up. The strong keep climbing, the weak get trampled, and if that stings good, that pain you feel, that's your warning signal. It's telling you to move. So what now? You've got two roads ahead of you. The first, keep going the way you are. Keep making excuses. Keep choosing comfort. Keep hoping life magically improves while you do nothing. But if you take that path, understand exactly where it leads. To mediocrity. To being broke, bitter, and forgotten. You'll live a life that's constantly disappointing and die wondering what could have been. Or you can take the second path. You can stay up hiding. You can stop pretending that you're doing your best. You can confront yourself, rip the weakness out by its roots, and step into the pain. You can choose to be uncomfortable now so you can rule your life later. That means waking up before the world does. That means working when others are resting. It means pushing when your body screams for rest. It means silencing the quitter inside you and building a warrior in his place. And if you're thinking, that sounds too hard, then stay exactly where you are. But don't dare complain. Don't whine about your job, your body, your lack of results. You chose this. The world didn't do this to you. You did. But if you're done with that life, if you're truly ready, then act. Choose to become the kind of man who commands respect, not by demanding it, but by becoming the embodiment of it. No one hands you power. You earn it through blood, sweat, and persistence. What you just read isn't sugar-coated. It's not meant to make you feel good. It's meant to open your eyes. And now that they're open, the question is, will you walk away and do nothing? Will you pretend you didn't hear this? Will you keep feeding yourself the lie that you'll start tomorrow? Let me be clear, tomorrow is a myth. It's the lie comfort tells you to keep you soft. The only thing that exists is this moment. And right now, you have a choice. Stay exactly as you are, average, invisible, forgotten, or decide that this is the last day you live like that. You can continue being a bystander in your own life, watching others build empires, watching others claim the power, the freedom, the admiration that could have been yours. Or you can rise. You can transform into a man who's dangerous, not violent, but powerful. Someone who's forged in discipline, someone who earns every ounce of respect he gets. Because the harsh truth is this, no excuse matters. Your past, irrelevant. Your setbacks, common. Your circumstances, not unique. The only thing holding you back is the story you keep repeating to yourself about why you can't. Rip that story apart, replace it with purpose, with intention, with fire. No one is standing in your way, not your childhood, not your environment, not the obstacles. The only enemy that matters is the one in the mirror. Confront him, beat him, mold him into something worthy of greatness. And remember this, in this world, you either take control or get controlled. There is no in between. So stand up, take action, and never look back. Be the reason people stop and take notice, or be forgotten by them and by yourself. The decision is yours.